And now let's learn about the select keyword and maybe also insert. We actually did an insert about 2 videos ago, but we're going to look at this in more detail. So select is kind of interesting. We saw in the last video, or was it 2 videos ago, that when you do a select, let's say you just select 9 like that, you can see there's that those square or those braces, the curly brackets, and now we're going to see what that actually means, and that is because everything. This is called a set. So everything in EdgeDB is a set, and EdgeDB uses sets because one of the reasons is because it doesn't have null, which is a good thing, because null has a lot of like weird behavior involved, and you can see, for example, there's a post here about all the weirdness that happens with null. Like, for example, if you're counting rows, sometimes they'll get counted and sometimes not. And we've got a little meme up here. This guy, he's trying to do some counting, but there's some nulls in there, and so lots of misery. And so EdgeDB uses sets, and if there's no data there, instead of a null, it returns an empty set, and that lets you have more predictable behavior. And so that's what that means when you see the curly braces everywhere, is that everything is set, everything is an expression, so it's kind of functional in that way. So the next, so we saw this last video. Colon equals is used to declare or assign. This is for equality. Single equals mark, and then the exclamation mark equals is not. So if something is not, you do exclamation mark. And so let's just try one of these. So we can do select, and so you can kind of create these variable names on the fly. So instead of so there's select Jonathan Harker, which will return Jonathan Harker, or we can say select Jonathan's name. We're going to give it a name this time, and that's kind of there we are. And so this will also return just the data here, but with Jonathan's name, we can give it a name and then use it during the inside the query. So you can see, like, so far this is exactly the same, but if we do this, we can do name Jonathan Harker. That looks kind of funny. That equals count Dracula. And of course that needs an underscore. Not equals, that should be a exclamation mark. So there we go. So we're trying to compare it to is Jonathan Harker not the same as Count Dracula? True. Is it the same? False. So that's pretty straightforward there. Now this is what's the point of that? Well, you can say later on, you can use a with. So you can say, for example, with Jonathan's name equals Jonathan Harker. You can say select Jonathan's name is equal to Count Dracula. So you can see you can create these variable names on the fly, and then use them in more complex queries. So yeah, that's pretty nice to have. So we have that. Next, we're going to start inserting some data, and this is pretty straightforward, I think. Let's see. So we want to have a city called Munich. We want to have another one called Budapest, and then B streets, and they have their regular names and their book names and their modern names. So let's just insert them one at a time. We'll just copy and paste. So this is going to work because we have a city. What else? Or because we have a name for the city, rather, because that is a required property. So if you remember, if we were to take this, if we were to put Bistritz in there and not give it a modern name, or not give it a regular name, then it's not going to work, of course. Whereas without a modern name, it's fine as long as we have a name. So, and by the way, you can have a trailing comma is optional. So if you're inserting with a final comma here, it's not going to give you an error. So that's up to you. Let's see. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're about to actually deleted Jonathan Harker in the last after one of the last videos, because we would like to do this, but you can see there's already an issue here. So we have these cities. We've got 3 cities already, and we want to insert Jonathan Harker, and we would like to connect him to the cities, but this is just going to be 3 strings, and it's not going to actually connect him to any of the objects. So this is where we're going to start to learn about links. How are we going to, how can we link an NPC to a city? And the way you do that, let's see. Yeah, so let's not do this NPC insert. So what we're going to do is change, we're going to change the this array stir to something called a multi-city, which is a multi-link city, which means a link to possibly many city objects instead of just one. And if you don't have multi, then it means just a link to one. So you would just write places visited multi-city. But then before we do that, we're going to look a little bit at what actually happens when we do an insert. And so let's look at that in the next video.